make one mistake in your career, that if you make this one mistake in your career as a leader, it will completely destroy your career? Would you want to know what it was? In this video, I'm going to share with you the number one mistake that leaders make that destroys their careers or destroys how people perceive them as leaders. And this mistake is something that many of you may not have thought about before. So you want to watch this video, this special edition live video, till the end, because we're going to have a really great conversation about this one mistake that will completely destroy you as a leader and how you do not want to be in this particular situation when this mistakes happen. A lot of times on YouTube, there's tons of leadership development information here, right? There's so many things here on YouTube, but on this channel specifically, I'm going to share with you real strategies, real scenarios that many people on YouTube do not talk about. I have been in various leadership roles for the past 20 years as a C-suite executive, a director, a manager, a supervisor. I have seen a lot, and I'm going to share with you why you want to make sure that you don't make this mistake, because it will destroy you as a leader. So don't let it be you. Now, this is a live video, and so if you're watching this video right now, you're watching the replay, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Please bear with me a few moments as people join the live. I will say hello to them and see how everyone's doing. And then we're going to go right into this mistake, because you want to get a pen and a paper for this mistake, because you do not want to make it as you are progressing in your leadership journey. Now, a lot of times leaders, regardless of where you are, you may be at the very beginning of your leadership journey, you may be in the middle of your leadership journey, or you may be at the end of your leadership journey. And oftentimes I see this mistake happen between the middle and the end of the leadership journey. Most of the time, people in the very beginning of the leadership journey are not making this mistake because they're just starting out. So this video will serve for everyone, regardless of where you are, regardless of what gender you are. You all know I focus on client base is women in leadership, but if you are watching this video live, then I know you are passionate about leadership and communicating at that higher level, regardless of what gender you are. So I welcome you, and I'm glad that you're here. So I want to say welcome to all of you that are present today. Hello, hello. We are going to have a real conversation today, real conversation. So I hope you all are ready to have some real talk today. You do not want to make this one mistake that will destroy you as a leader. If you want to know what this one mistake is, you need to watch this video and stick around, because I'm going to let you know something that people are not talking about on YouTube. If you like this information, so far you're hearing secrets now. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I talk about real conversations, real communication strategies as leaders that will help you to elevate in your career. So before we go into it, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Rasul. If I did not say your name correctly, I'm so sorry. So Rasul says hello from Iran. Hello, welcome. How are you? Thank you so much for letting me know where you are. For those of you joining, where are you joining in the world today? Let me know. And then we're about to go into the one mistake that will destroy your career as a leader. All right, we have Gorgali. Hello, welcome. Where are you from? Hello. Let me know where you're from. So what I want to say specifically is the mistake is, are you ready? This mistake will cost you as a leader. It is arrogance. And let me explain to you how arrogance will completely destroy you as a leader. What happens as we are in our leadership world, and we've been leaders for a very long time, sometimes leaders will think that they know everything. Now, let me know in the comments below if you have ever worked with a leader that felt like they knew everything, but they actually did not know anything. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Because what happens oftentimes is that people, they're in these roles and they feel like they know everything. And what happens is, I have personally seen this. I have witnessed this, where I've worked with leaders, executives that have forgotten that they have to work with a team. They have forgotten that they have to lean on their coworkers or their colleagues or their peers, and they get into the mindset of the king or the queen of their businesses or their organizations, and they forget that there's some things that they may not know. And so what happens is they start making decisions based off of the fact that they think they know everything. And when those decisions are made, majority of the time, there's a domino effect that happens. So the domino effect that I have personally witnessed, I have seen this happen in organizations, is that you have your person, your leader, that thinks they know everything. And this arrogance comes in where they feel like they don't need to learn anything else. They don't need to expand their skill set anymore. They already do everything perfectly. They don't need to sharpen their public speaking skills. They don't need to ask their team for guidance. They know everything and they make the decisions. This is what specifically I have seen so far, is that there are decisions that are made from the leaders that feel like they know everything. And then once they make those decisions start to do what? They start to affect the morale of their team. And then what happens? Then the decisions start to impact their finances. Then people start getting laid off. Then departments start closing down. Then other leaders start leaving. This is what happens when people think that they know everything as leaders, and this will destroy you as a leader. Please don't let this be you. Please do not, because if you feel like you know everything as a leader, it will completely destroy you. I've seen companies go down quickly because the leaders are not depending on their team. They're not leaning on their teams. They're not at the point where they are really listening to everybody in terms of what they have to say. Now, I'm going to go into a bit more of this in just a few moments, but I want to see what's going on in the chat for today. So we have Gorgali. Okay, Gorgali says, hi, hello again. Gorgali says, what will we do here? Well, here we're going to talk about a real conversation about leadership. And I want you all to take note, because I know if you're watching this, then you care about how you are presenting yourself and you care about yourself as a leader. And I'm here to help you on your journey. So if you have any questions specific as it relates to hard conversations, complex situations that's happened to you as a leader, then this is the best place for you to be, because I will share with you over 20 years of experience to fast track your career. But today we're talking about what is the one mistake that will hurt you as a leader, that will destroy your leadership, and that is arrogance. The reason why I mention this is because so many people, when they've been leaders for a very long time, they start to think they know everything and that they have the answers. They don't need to improve their skills. So I want you all to always, if you don't get anything out of this live or anything from what I've told you on my channel, always be that person that is willing to learn, that wants to learn. There are depths of leadership. There are depths of communication. There are depths of any skill that you have. We do not know everything. Even though you have been doing something for 20 years or 30 years, that doesn't necessarily mean that you know every single thing about it. So that's what we're talking about today. So Gorgali said, how much do you know? Well, this is something that I know a lot about because I've been in these situations. I've been in very friendly situations, Gorgali, and I've been in very contentious situations also. And so I've been doing this for 20 years. So I'm sharing with you my experiences that I've had. Do I have answers to everything? Absolutely not. I'm not the wizard. I do not. But I do know quite a bit about leadership, and I have seen a lot over the years. So I want to make sure that you all are not making the same mistakes that I've seen people make that have been experienced leaders over the years. So we have Tara. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Hope you are doing fantastically well today, Tara. Hello, hello. And we also have LeBron Levette. Hello, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you all are joining from today. I appreciate you. All right. Yes, Tara. Tara said, Jacinta, do you have IG? Yes, my IG is at Excite Excellence. That is my Instagram. And my LinkedIn is at Dr. Jacinta Lamentai. Feel free to reach out to me and contact me there if you have any questions specifically. So LeBron Levette asks, if I want to become a leader, how do I get noticed? Oh, LeBron Levette, are you ready for this? Are you ready? I want you to get a pen and a paper because we're going to dive right into that. So Tara says, 20 years of experience, babe, you look 20. No, I'm not 20. that was a long time ago. But yes, I've been doing this for 20 years. So let's dive into LeBron Levette's question, which that's a fantastic question, by the way. First, definitely LeBron Levette, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of great content here specifically for leaders. I work with women in leadership, but a lot of individuals on my channel are not in that category. And so I welcome you to join. There's a lot of information I talk about here specifically as it relates to leadership to help you go to that next level, especially on your journey to doing amazing things that I know you're going to do in your life. So if you want to become noticed as a leader, how do you do this? The first thing you want to do is to keep this in mind. I said this a moment ago, and I know you just joined, so I want to mention it again, but I'm going to share this with you too. People become great by how they communicate. That's the first thing, LeBron. Love it. Because if you're able to communicate at a higher level than your peers, then automatically you are positioning yourself as a leader. So that's number one. How you're communicating is very, very important to how you're being perceived as a leader. So how does this help you become noticed? You may be wondering, well, how do I speak? How does this help me become noticed? So let me give you an example. If you have someone, and this is actually a situation I had earlier this week. If you have someone that speaks to a group of people or speaks to another leader and has a conversation, and in that conversation, they do not sound articulate, or maybe they do not sound polished. Let's say they use a lot of slang, or perhaps they may say words inappropriately, or just say things that are not appropriate as a professional. That person is going to be looked at differently as a leader than someone who can actually speak and articulate themselves and speak in a very polished way. This is how you become noticed as a leader. I've seen two leaders. I've seen leaders, people who are very, very intelligent, that are leaders, but have been placed in leadership roles, but they have not been able to take time to develop their communication skills. And what happens is they bring their mindset that they have to this leadership role, which is fantastic, but they're communicating at a lower level. And oftentimes these individuals start to struggle. Now, what you can do to prevent that is to get help. If you have struggled with communication, or if you want to enhance how you communicate, LeBron, this is the fastest way for you to become noticed. People are listening to you all of the time. And if you can position yourself and speak in a way that sounds very, very intelligent, that sounds very articulate, automatically, LeBron, people are going to notice you as a leader and want to listen to what you have to say. So learning how to communicate at a higher level, and I don't say just regular communication, because this channel is not, we talk about communication and basics and etc., but I'm here to help you communicate at that higher level. And this is what my mission here on this earth is to do, is to help you to do that. Now, if you can communicate at a higher level, people are automatically going to notice you because everybody else is not communicating that way. So that's number one, LeBron. That's one of the first ways you want to become noticed. The second, I would say, strategy you can use to become noticed as a leader is to put yourself in situations where you are having to manage projects. You may have to manage a smaller project to start. You might manage a medium-sized project or a large project. The way that you can manage projects or manage situations under pressure will automatically help you to become noticed as a leader. Majority of the time, the people that are the workers, or the people that are the doers, are the individuals who are focused on one task, and that's the task that they do. But LeBron, people that are leaders are the ones that are actually managing the whole project. So if you are wanting to be noticed as a leader, be that person that can work on major projects or even small projects. If you're just starting out, you can let me know where you are on your leadership journey. I'm not sure. But working on some projects or some initiatives will help you to start becoming noticed as a leader, because they will say, oh, I noticed that LeBron Lovett was working on this particular project and it turned out very successfully. A lot of things worked out. We generated a lot of revenue, or whatever the case may be. So that's another way to start getting noticed as a leader as well, is to make sure that you're working on those projects, you're putting yourself in those positions to do well. So making sure that you are available for opportunities is very important. If you ask any business owner, anywhere, you can look on YouTube. There's so many influencers here and content creators that are business owners like myself, and they all talk about opportunity. A lot of times people become very successful by being available for an opportunity. Making yourself present, making yourself ready is always important. Now, I'll give you something else. This is something that will prevent you from being noticed. Now, we'll go to the contrary. So you don't want to do this, LeBron Lovett. Don't necessarily do this mistake. One of the things that will prevent you from being noticed is not being ready for these opportunities. And let me give you an example. I had a conversation about a year ago with an individual who had an amazing opportunity to speak in front of a global audience on a small scale. And when I had this conversation with this individual, I asked her, are you ready? This is an amazing opportunity for you to speak at a global scale. Are you ready? This is going to position you as a leader. We kind of went into the conversation of it. And she told me no. And I asked her, well, why not? And she said, I feel like I am not ready. And I asked her, I told her, you have so much experience. You have so much knowledge in this specific type of field. And the conversation she was going to have on this global conference was very specific to her knowledge base. And I told her, you have so much knowledge. This is a wonderful opportunity. You should go for it. This will be great. She told me, I'm just not ready. And you know what? What happens, leaders? She decided not to go for the opportunity. Now this, as I mentioned, and this is a great point that I want to share with you, is that being present for opportunities is really important. You have to be ready for them because they can come at any point in time. And most of the time, I'll share with you, especially when you're developing yourself as a leader, these will come up when you least expect it. When you're not expecting it, you didn't expect things to happen, this is when those big opportunities will come up that will help you to become noticed as a leader. So as a counter to what you are asking, if you decide that you just are not ready for an opportunity, that is a way for you to not become noticed as a leader. So LeBron Lovett, I don't want you to do that one. Make sure that you're positioning yourself to be ready for these opportunities. The other part of this is, okay, how can I position myself to be ready for opportunities? A lot of it starts here. Oftentimes, people struggle mentally because they feel imposter syndrome, and it impacts all of us, men and women alike. And they get this sense of that, oh, I know something, but somebody else knows more than me, and I'm not ready for this opportunity, just as I explained to you a few moments ago. So to be present and be ready for these opportunities that will help you to become noticed as a leader, you want to make sure that you have done the appropriate mental work for you to be ready for these opportunities. Now, you might be wondering, well, what does the appropriate mental work mean? This means we need to take some time and start some self-reflection of yourself to make sure your confidence is where it needs to be. And this is something that I do specifically with my one-on-one clients. This is why you work with an executive coach to help expedite your career growth and to help you to overcome these challenges and barriers that you're facing in your careers as leaders a lot faster than if you were doing it by yourself. So this is how you make yourself really present for opportunities. So to answer your question, we've talked about a couple things, LeBron Lovett, and I hope this information is helpful for you. Feel free to let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below, or if you're watching the replay, let me know if you all have any questions about this. I know we're going in a bit of a different direction, but it's very, very important to have this conversation. We talked about these are the things you need to do to become noticed as a leader. Communicate at that higher level than everyone else. Make sure you're positioning yourself for opportunities and try to manage bigger projects. This is what leaders do. Leaders are the people that are doing the managing of projects. They're the individuals who are working. They're the people that are managing the back end and they're doing the strategic planning. So putting yourself in those situations will absolutely help you tremendously if you want to become noticed as a leader. And if you want me to go deeper into this conversation with you, LeBron Lovett, let me know. I will do a video specifically on this topic just for you if you want to go into it more. Because I could talk about leadership and how to be noticed as a leader literally probably all day long. So let me know if you want to go into more detail. And even those individuals that are watching the live and the replay, just let me know in the comments below. If you want me to talk more about this, I'll be happy to do it for you and do a separate video. I do videos for my audience members all the time, my fellow leaders. So if you have something, I will absolutely do a video just for you. Now, we talked a bit about a very interesting topic in terms of what to do to become noticed as a leader. So I appreciate LeBron Lovett for bringing that one up. Now, going back to the topic of our live today, we talked about that one mistake that leaders make, and I don't want it to be you, is to become too arrogant in their fields. So they start to think they know everything. They don't lean on their teams as much as they used to, and they start making decisions in a very unilateral way that start to impact their companies, their organizations, and a lot of things go downhill from there. When you are in a leadership role, you should always want to strive to do better and improve yourself. And as I was mentioning a moment ago before we started talking about what are some things to do to become noticed as a leader, that there are depths to leadership, there are depths to your skills, there are depths to everything. And none of us are perfect. And the real wonderful leaders are the ones that know they don't know everything. Do you have to communicate like you don't know everything? No, you definitely don't want to do that, because you don't want to come across as someone that doesn't know what they're talking about, and etc. However, you do want to always be willing to learn. So I'll give myself as a personal example. I've been a public speaker for 20 years. I've been doing this. This is a passion of mine. I love public speaking. I've been in leadership roles. I've done the C-suite executive experience. I've done that for many, many years. I've worked as a director and a supervisor for a long time also. For me, there's always levels of communication that I can improve upon myself, even though I feel very comfortable with how I communicate and in communicating like an executive. There's a lot of things I can do. I could be present on the news a lot more. That's something that I'm working towards. I can place myself in very challenging situations where I have to communicate. I can do that more. There's always more to learn. And I will tell you that I've actually interacted with people, and I'm not going to say the platform specifically, but I've interacted with some high achieving people that are, let's say, public speakers, or they may be executive coaches like myself, or they may be in different industries. And I've talked to them about various topics, and they literally will give me the response, "Oh, I know all of that already. I know all that already. You must not have looked at my profile. I know everything." And these are the individuals that I want you all just to stay away from, because there are people out here on YouTube, there's people out here on LinkedIn, there's people out here on Instagram that have placed themselves in situations where they have grown and they have developed their businesses, which is amazing, but they have reached that place in their business where they feel like they know it all and they don't know anything. They don't need to know anything else. They don't need to learn anything else. And these are the type of people that are not really truly going to help you grow, because if you are partnering with an executive coach or consultant like myself, you want to partner with people that are very passionate about learning, that actually do want to learn, and the people that are not so busy in the day-to-day life that they just focus only on their business, focus only on revenue, and they don't think about how to develop themselves personally as individuals. This happens a lot in the wonderful world of leadership, and I want to make sure that my audience, if you're watching my video, if you're taking time to learn from me and to ask questions and to subscribe to my channel, I don't want you to make these mistakes that many seasoned leaders make all of the time. I want you all to go to that next level, to be these exceptional, amazing leaders that we need in the world today. I don't want you all to make these mistakes that a lot of seasoned leaders make. And if you are a seasoned leader and you've made these mistakes, take this video as a way to correct your course and to really think, maybe I need to consider and think about how I'm communicating differently to my team. Let me see what else I may need to do to lean more on my personal and professional growth, and etc. This is just a very, very humble reminder that the best of us can make this mistake. And can you recover from it? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It just depends on how far and how big the decision it is that you made where you thought you knew everything and you were very arrogant about it. I've had this come up so many times, and I can tell you, leaders, that I have seen it happen so many times where businesses, leaders, and etc. have just completely fallen from a leader thinking that they knew everything when they didn't. So I want to know from you all, have you ever experienced a situation like this before? I have. I've seen it happen, and it doesn't look nice when everything completely is done, when the dust settles, so to speak, as we say. So let me know in the comments below if this is something you've experienced. Now, I also want to know from you too, what are some topics that you'd like to learn more information about? I focus on a lot of things on my channel here, especially as it relates to leadership and communication and dealing with more complicated situations. This is like my expertise. This is something that I'm very, very comfortable in. So if you've had some hard conversations, or you're wondering about how to give sensitive feedback, or you have been challenged at work, or you're trying to figure out, well, how can I communicate at that higher level? How can I present myself as being someone that's very concise and articulate all the time? Then just reach out to me. Contact me on Instagram, as Tara mentioned earlier. She asked for my IG. And then also mention, you can contact me at Dr. Jacinta Lamantai on LinkedIn. You could also contact me here on YouTube. Just let me know what question you have or what type of videos specifically you want to learn more about, and I will do a video just for you. All right, let me see what came through in the chat. Hi, Forensic Accountant. Hello, welcome. Glad to see you here. Thank you for spending a few moments of your time with me today. So, Forensic Accountant actually had a very, very good topic that he mentioned on one of my videos, and I'm actually going to be doing a live on that very, very soon about having conversations when you have to discuss confidential information. So, Forensic Accountant, that's coming up for you. As soon as I do that video, I will definitely give you a shout out in the video itself. I just did a shout out yesterday to Yogesh. It was about a topic about how to find the right words. So if you all give me topics that you want to learn about, I will give you a shout out in the video, and I will do a topic just for you. So let me know if y'all have any questions specifically as it relates to this topic. I want you all not to make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. And for those of you who just joined, so Forensic Accountant, we were just talking about the mistake that leaders make that will completely just destroy their careers. And that mistake is arrogance, feeling like they know everything, like they don't have to ask any questions. They make decisions from a place of knowing the answers for everything, and they don't lean on their teams and ask questions, and they start making decisions that ultimately impact their businesses and their organizations and etc. And so this is a mistake I want people not to make, because I've seen so many seasoned leaders make this specific mistake that has cost them their careers, it's cost their businesses or their organizations they're running. Is coming from a place where they've been leaders for so long that they feel like they know everything and they are not willing to learn. And so the take-home message is, leaders, learn all the time and always continue learning, always continue enhancing yourself professionally, and never feel like you are at a place where you have to stop learning. And I gave an example of myself in terms of, I want to continue to learn more as a public speaker. I've been doing public speaking for 20 years, but there's depth to it. So there's always more that we can learn. So I appreciate you all for joining here today and being present and seeing new faces and old acquaintances. I appreciate Forensic Accountant for being here and being present. Definitely look out for my video that I'm going to be recording for you. It'll be a live video more than likely, and it'll probably be within the next week. 1 to 2 weeks, because I have my content schedule out already, but it'll be very, very soon. Just make sure you put a notification so you know when those videos come out. Okay, sorry about that. My video went out. For a second. For some reason on YouTube, it does that from time to time. So I'm on the YouTube live streamer panel, research panel, so I need to talk to him about that. I don't know why sometimes the video just goes off and then it comes back on. But I watched the replay and you can't really tell it. It's just very, very odd. But nonetheless, I appreciate y'all spending a few moments out of your day with me today. If you like this video, we dived into a lot. We talked about mistakes leaders make, and we talked about what to do to become noticed as a leader. So I appreciate LeBron Lovett for mentioning that topic. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm here to support you on your journey. If you like this content, then feel free to like this video, because it actually does help it out to get to more individuals. And feel free to subscribe so that you can accelerate how you are communicating as a leader. And I will see you all in the next video. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye for now.